2015. Scott Stevens walks into a casino in Las Vegas. He's a successful software engineer, makes $120,000 a year, has a wife, 2 kids, a mortgage. He sits down at a blackjack table with $500. He's read books about card counting. He knows basic strategy. He thinks he has an edge. 6 hours later, he's lost the $500. He goes to the ATM. Another $1,000. Then another. Then he maxes out his credit cards. $15,000. He goes home, lies to his wife about where he was. The next weekend, he goes back to win it back. Over the next 18 months, Scott Stevens loses $1.7 million. His retirement account, his kids' college fund, his house, everything. His wife divorces him. He attempts suicide twice. He ends up living in his car. When asked why he kept playing when he was losing, Scott said, "I knew the math. I knew the odds, but I thought I could beat it. The casino made me think I could win." Scott wasn't stupid. He was a software engineer. He understood probability. But he didn't understand the one mathematical formula that guarantees casinos always win, and that formula is expected value. And the casino? They understood it perfectly. They designed every game, every sound, every light, every free drink around one goal, keeping you playing long enough for the math to destroy you. This is the mathematical formula that extracts $100 billion per year from people who think they can win. Let me show you why the house always wins, and why understanding expected value is the only way to protect yourself. Expected value is the average outcome of a bet if you repeated it infinite times. The formula is expected value equals the probability of winning multiplied by the amount won, minus the probability of losing multiplied by the amount lost. Let's use roulette as an example. American roulette wheel has 38 numbers, which includes numbers 1 through 36, plus 0 and double 0. You bet $100 on red. Red numbers, 18. Black numbers, 18. Green, which is 0 and double 0, 2. If you win by landing on red, you get your $100 back plus $100 profit, which equals $200 total. If you lose by landing on black or green, you lose your $100. Expected value calculation. Probability of winning is 18 out of 38, which equals 47.37%. Probability of losing is 20 out of 38, which equals 52.63%. Expected value equals 0.4737 multiplied by $100 minus 0.5263 multiplied by $100. Expected value equals $47.37 minus $52.63. Expected value equals negative $5.26. Every time you bet $100 on red, you expect to lose $5.26. This is called the house edge. For roulette, it's 5.26%. But wait, you say, I might win this time. I might beat the odds. That's the trap. Any single spin, you might win. But the expected value isn't about one spin. It's about what happens over time. Bet $100 on red 100 times, and your expected loss is negative $5.26 multiplied by 100, which equals negative $526. Bet $100 on red 1,000 times, and your expected loss is negative $5.26 multiplied by 1,000, which equals negative $5,260. The more you play, the closer your actual results get to the expected value. This is the law of large numbers. In the short term, you might get lucky. In the long term, the math always wins. And casinos don't care about the short term. They have infinite money and infinite time. You don't. This is why the house always wins. Not because they're lucky, because they designed every game to have negative expected value for you. Every single game. Let's look at the house edge on popular casino games. Slots have a 2 to 15% house edge, and this varies by machine. For every $100 you put in, you expect to lose $2 to $15. The flashy ones with big jackpots, usually 10 to 15% edge. Roulette has a 5.26% house edge on the American wheel with 0 and double 0. European roulette with a single 0 has a 2.7% edge, but that's still negative expected value for you. Craps has a 1.4% house edge on the best bets, but most players don't make the best bets. They make the exciting bets, which have an 11.1% edge. Blackjack has a 0.5% house edge with perfect basic strategy. This is the best game for players, but perfect basic strategy is hard. Most players make mistakes, increasing the edge to 2 to 3%. And if you count cards well enough to get positive expected value, they ban you. Keno has a 25 to 40% house edge. This is basically a tax on people who can't do math. Notice the pattern? Every single game has negative expected value. Some games hide it better than others. Blackjack feels like you have control because you make decisions. But unless you're counting cards, which is banned, the house has the edge. The game that feels most like gambling, where you think skill matters, is designed to extract money just like the mindless slot machine. The house edge means that if you play long enough, you will lose. Guaranteed. Mathematically certain. Not probably. Not maybe. Definitely. But casinos don't just rely on negative expected value. They use psychology to keep you playing until the math destroys you. The first trap is near misses. Slot machines are programmed to show near misses, where you almost hit the jackpot. 3 sevens in a row wins $10,000. You get 7, 7, cherry. Your brain screams, so close, one more spin. But mathematically, 7, 7 cherry is exactly as far from winning as 2 banana 9. The machine has no memory. Each spin is independent. The near miss is designed to trigger your brain's reward center, making you think you're getting close when you're not. The second trap is small wins disguised as losses. You bet $5 on a slot machine. You win $3. The machine plays victory music. Lights flash. You feel like you won. You didn't win. You lost $2. But the casino celebrated your loss to keep you playing. The third trap is free drinks. Alcohol impairs judgment and risk assessment. A sober person might quit after losing $500. A drunk person loses $5,000. The $8 free drink costs the casino nothing when it keeps you betting and losing. The fourth trap is no clocks and no windows. You lose track of time. 2 hours feels like 30 minutes. You're suspended in a timeless void where the only reality is the next bet. The fifth trap is chips instead of cash. You're not betting $100. You're betting one chip. This psychological distance makes you forget you're spending real money. You make bigger, riskier bets. Studies show people bet 30 to 40% more when using chips versus cash. The sixth trap is the sunk cost fallacy. You've lost $1,000. You think, I need to win it back. Just one more bet, but the $1,000 is gone. It's sunk. The next bet has the same negative expected value as the first bet. You're not due for a win. The machine, the cards, and the dice have no memory. Every bet is independent. But your brain doesn't accept this. So you keep betting to recover money that's already gone, losing even more. All of these tactics have one goal: keep you betting until the negative expected value destroys you. The longer you play, the more certain your loss becomes. Scott Stevens isn't alone. Terrence Watanabe, in 2007, lost $127 million in 1 year at Vegas casinos. Harrah's gave him free rooms, free flights, let him bet $50,000 per hand. When he tried to stop, they called him, offered more comps, pulled him back. He sued, claiming they got him drunk and took advantage. The casino argued that he knew what he was doing. He was just experiencing negative expected value at scale. Archie Karras, from 1992 to 1995, turned $50 into $40 million through incredible luck at poker and dice. Then, he lost all $40 million in 3 weeks, back to zero. Why? Because even when you get incredibly lucky in the short term, if you keep playing, expected value catches up to you. Looking at casino revenue from 2019, U.S. commercial casinos brought in $43 billion in revenue. That's $43 billion extracted from players through negative expected value. Not $43 billion wagered, $43 billion lost. Every dollar came from someone like Scott Stevens, who thought they could beat the math. The casinos didn't win through luck. They won through mathematical certainty. But I have a system. I double my bet every time I lose, you might say, referring to the martingale system. Let's do the math. You bet $10 on red and lose. Your balance is negative $10. You bet $20 on red and lose. Your balance is negative $30. You bet $40 on red and lose. Your balance is negative $70. You bet $80 on red and lose. Your balance is negative $150. You bet $160 on red and lose. Your balance is negative $310. You bet $320 on red and win. Your balance is negative $310 plus $320, which equals plus $10. See, I won $10. But here's the problem. First, you risked $630 to win $10. Second, you assumed you had infinite money. Third, you assumed the table had no bet limits. But they do, usually $500 to $1,000 maximum. Fourth, if you lose 7 times in a row, which happens, you're down $1,270 with no way to recover. The probability of losing 7 spins in a row in roulette is 20 out of 38 to the 7th power, which equals 0.64%. That seems rare, but if you play 156 times using this system, it'll happen once on average. And when it does, you're destroyed. Every betting system runs into the same wall. You can't overcome negative expected value with a betting pattern. The math doesn't care about your system. So how do you beat a casino? You don't play. That's not a joke. That's the mathematical answer. If every game has negative expected value, the only winning move is not to play. But some people do win. Yes, in the short term, variance exists. Some people get lucky. But casinos depend on winners. They need winners to advertise, to create the illusion that winning is possible. For every person who wins $10,000, there are 100 people who lost $1,000 to fund that jackpot. The casino advertises the winner. The 100 losers go home quietly. If you do gamble, here's what you should do. First, set a loss limit before you start, and when you hit it, leave. Second, never gamble with money you can't afford to lose. Third, understand you're paying for entertainment, not making an investment. Fourth, never chase losses. Fifth, never believe you have a system. But honestly, the math says don't gamble. Every dollar you don't bet is a dollar you kept. That's a 100% return. Can't beat that at the casino. Scott Stevens lost $1.7 million because he didn't understand expected value. He knew probability. He knew odds. But he didn't understand that negative expected value plus time equals guaranteed loss. The casino knew. They designed every game, every comp, every psychological trick around one formula. Keep them playing until the math destroys them. Expected value is simple. It's the probability of winning multiplied by the amount won, minus the probability of losing multiplied by the amount lost. For every casino game, that number is negative. Play once, you might win. Play 100 times, you'll probably lose. Play 1,000 times, you'll definitely lose. The house doesn't always win because they're lucky. They always win because they understand mathematics. And they're betting you don't. If this could stop someone from losing their life savings, share it. If you've ever thought you could beat the casino, hit that like button, subscribe. Because the math of gambling is a formula designed to extract every dollar you're willing to lose. And the only way to beat it is to not play at all.